Morning, morning. Yes, it's Africa Investor Stories. We're back. I know it's been a long time and I apologize. I was focusing on my other podcast, Africa Taxi Chronicles. I've got over 500 or 600 episodes. But now I'm going to focus on the original plan, which is the podcast all about investing in Africa. Today we have a guest, Victor. He's also a fellow podcaster, and his podcast called The Diaspora Entrepreneurs and podcast, and he's going to be telling us all about where he is today. We've interviewed him before. We spoke about how he used to sell when he's Nigerian. He came to live in England and he's selling car parts and breaking them up and sending them back to Africa, to Nigeria, and that's been quite successful. And he's also worked he's worked on the railways as an engineer, and now he's also a consultant for the NHS. So anything's going wrong digitally behind the scene, the finger to point at for the man. But anyway, now, more interestingly, he's been invested in bricks and mortar down in the Niger Delta. Don't know if you know about that part of the world. It's in Nigeria, and he's going to tell us all about it and how he got into it and why he decided to do it, and just about what he's learned and experienced in that field. So welcome to have you. Nice to have you here, Victor.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Simon. Thank you very much.
First of all, how have you been handled with this whole lockdown? Because you've been commuting a bit back and forth from England to Nigeria, to Africa, to the motherlands. How's that been for you?
Yeah, it's been quite interesting and a little bit challenging because of these. There's so many hoops to jump now for you to fly back and forth using the airports, and limited airports that are actually operating in Heathrow. So it's been a little bit challenging, because of you have to do PCR tests, you have to do here, you have to get clearance from here to Nigeria and back, so it has not been like before pre-lockdown where you just get your ticket, pack your bags and go. It's no longer like that. Now you have to plan and start checking government websites and looking through the fine prints before you make any journey now.
Okay.
That's how it's been.
I understand. A bit more complicated, but it didn't hold you back.
No, not at all.
Okay, because you took your whole family with you, your wife and the 3 kids.
Yeah.
So
we mostly travel together, but when it's business related, I jump, I go in, or the missus goes in. So
okay, so you're a husband and wife team.
Yeah, I found out that it's working. It's working better for us, because we have the shared vision now of
the words out my mouth. Shared vision.
Yeah, we have a shared vision now of actually moving back to Africa, moving back to Nigeria in the nearest future. So we had this 5-year plan, which we're 2 years into the mix now. This is the 3rd year. So we are getting there. We're very, very close.
Okay, that's good. It's good. So what was at the Nigerian end? Is it really harder getting into Nigeria now? I know obviously England's quite pedantic about these tests and all these kind of things, and they're trying to enforce it on many other ex-Commonwealth or Commonwealth countries. So how's Nigeria dealing with it and the lockdown?
I think they're doing the best that they can, given that we in Nigeria, we don't produce any of the vaccines or the test kits. So we had to rely on England and the other parts of the world to tell us where they are when it comes to researching the virus. So we had to rely on that. But I would say they're doing well, better than it was predicted. There are no bodies on the street dying, so recovery rate is high. Don't get me wrong, there's still people dying of the virus, which is really, really sad. And also the good thing from there is that people are actually like surviving, they're getting out, they're getting cured, and the resistance level is very high. I don't know why, but it is very high and it is remarkable. It's just that people died. That's the bottom line.
I understand. Why bricks and mortar? You've gone from selling car parts to working for a big organization, TfL and then NHS, and now you've chosen to go, you're going home, which I understand. It's always good to go back to where you started, but you could do any kind of business. Why bricks and mortar, and why the Niger Delta?
Yeah, I'm originally from Niger Delta, which is the oil-rich Niger Delta in Nigeria. We are like most of the revenues from Nigeria comes from oil, and the whole Niger Delta is oil soaked. So that's where I come from. And there's some basic stuff that are not really, really available, like decent housing, medium to luxury apartments are not there. And it is something that, so you know what, this will be actually good to start developing this type of properties, this type of houses, getting them standardized, in that part of the country, which the housing deficit in Nigeria is like 20, 25, 30 million. So houses need to be built like every day, and there is if you get the mix right, because according to one of my executive non-executive director, if we can get the mix right, we can get the strategy right, it is like a no-brainer. So we have to start to be more innovative when it comes to providing more sustainable solutions when it comes to providing houses in that region or in Nigeria as well, not depend on government infrastructures like lighting. So it is better for us to just come up with great solutions. So I say, you know what, better I go into this because it's kind of long term. And not just me going into brick and mortar. I come from a family, my late dad, God bless his soul now. We are kind of, I won't say categorically, but I'll say we are one of the biggest landowners in the Niger Delta.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Oh, that's the big family.
Yeah, that's the big family, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense, because to the audience out there, Victor's one of 51. He's got 51 brothers and sisters. So now that makes sense. Oil, lots of land. Yes, more than one wife, you can afford it.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. So this land, it was originally your land?
No, we had to start, me and the missus, we started acquiring them like 2 years ago. So.
How much did a plot of land go for anybody interested in investing?
It goes for about 1.8 million for like
Naira.
Yeah, like 450 square meters.
And what's that in pounds, English pounds?
The Naira has been taking serious bashing in the last couple of weeks, so that would be like about 2,500 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, or 2,500 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yes. I'm just looking at what it is on the chart here. Okay. So what you spoke about, you've got to get the mix right. What are you actually talking about there? Are you talking about houses, apartments, terrace houses, flats?
Yeah, because we need how's it called? Forget the understanding the market. What do they want? Is it startup homes for young families?
Yep.
So if that is what we are aiming at, we need to be able to like create something for them, like a 2-bed apartment, 2-bed units, whereby they have their one kid or 2 kids and they just come into this simple modular apartment, which has great quality, which has great lighting, has great features on them. So if you can get the pricing right, you understand the market, right? You understand the market, then it is going to be a win-win for you and in the long term.
Okay,
for
that's
the
good.
client as well.
So just to confirm, I've just looked up, you said 1.8 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes for today's terms for the British people. It's £3,181.69. So it's not too expensive for a big, quite a bit of plot of land, which is good. I take it that's probably about 4,300 and so it's just $1,000 extra.
Yeah.
In that aspect. So the dollar's not doing too good against the pound. Okay, interesting. So, so you've how did you go about? You bought some land. You bought how many acres or plots? What's this when you're buying land? Is it just sold in plots? Is it sold in acres? Are you doing in feet? Are you doing in meters? What's the standard?
Yeah, in feet.
It's all in feet.
Yeah, in feet.
And is that standard across Nigeria or just that part?
Standard across Nigeria is feet. So depends on where you go to. Developers now are not doing it in square meters, which have adopted square meters, because you have to, like, when you're developing a new community, you have to start catering for the roads, the sidewalk, trees, parks, those kind of stuff, because it's more organized. But if it's like an outside environment and just outside an estate, you kind of just have the standard 100 by 50 or 100 by 100, 200 by 200 feet. So, but within an estate, we kind of adapt this square meter kind of thing, which is really, really good.
How many plots have you got then? So you're going by 50 feet by 80 feet, yeah?
No, 50, 60 by 90.
60 by 90, okay. Because I know in Kenya, we were doing 50 by 80. But okay, but you're saying 60 by 90. So you're
60 by 90. So that's
like you're a bigger set of people.
Sorry?
You're a bigger set of people. You're a bigger set of people. Bigger.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So how many plots have you got? And are you and what kind of houses are you building? And are you selling them on plan or off plan?
At the moment, we're selling off plan. So it's like a 3-part process that we're doing. We're selling lands, and selling off plan, and completed ones.
So you've got a choice.
Yeah, so we've got a choice, and we've got a mix of 2-bed flat and a what's it called? A multi-family unit, which is like 2-bed flats in one unit. And we've got 3-bed semi-detached, and then 4-bed semi-detached and 4-bed detached.
What's the prices going? What are you looking at for when you're selling a flat?
Still working on that. The flat basic one is about 15 million or so for a 2-bed. Okay,
so you're going to be making some money considering what you're putting down.
Yeah, it is fine. I'm a businessman. See, we have to make money, even as we try to develop, as we try to deliver quality, sustainable quality. I'm a businessman, and bills, delights need to be paid for, and so we'll be making money as well as because we have infrastructures to deliver. So like the road network within the estate, we need to like deliver that, the sewage, we need to deliver all those type of stuff.
So is the sewage going to be soakaways, or is it going to be a sewage pipe going to like a big septic tank where it's going to be away or taps into the infrastructure of the country?
Soak away.
Okay. So I'm not sure if the oil companies were like that. Their sewage is being mixed. The oil is being mixed with sewage. Okay, I'm not a fan of soakaways. I've lived in Kenya and I kept many skin disease because it mixes with the water table. Are you using borehole water?
Yeah, borehole water, yeah.
See, that's the problem where the two combined and mixed. But okay.
Not really. They found we found more genius way to like you have to like cast the soak away. You know?
Yeah, but it still sinks. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but it doesn't sink out. You need to when it gets full, you suck them away.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as so the base is sealed.
Yeah, it's sealed. Yeah, like with rings.
Yeah. So it's sealed and it's sealed at the bottom.
Yeah, sealed.
So every septic tank, a vehicle comes along and pumps it all out.
Yeah.
Have you considered you can form natural gas from that and use it as a fuel source?
Did
you check that out?
No, we've not.
If you've got if you've got one big communal septic tank, that's something I'd seriously consider. If you've got, how many plots of land are you doing?
At the moment we're doing about 43, 44, less than 45, yeah.
Okay, so loads of plots of land, and then let's say you've got a quarter of them are blocks of flats. And every block of flats has what, 4 families in there?
Yeah, for the 2-bed, yeah, 4 families. Then a block for the semi-detached is 2 families.
So what I'm pointing out, that's a lot of waste every day. Do you understand? So you can throw there's a chemical or natural thing that will break it down and produce gas. They do that with pig farming. And then you can use it. So you just put a sealed lid on, and the way it works, it produces gas, and then you can use it to cook and do other things with. So it's just something you might want to consider, especially if you're going to be expanding later on.
Yeah, we will be expanding later on. We have something in our site right now, which is about 280 plots.
Mm-hmm.
So
are you near the coastline? What's the situation? I don't know too much about Niger Delta.
Oh, okay. We are in the Osioh River, which is one of the deepest river in Africa. It's kind of one of the deepest and longest, I think.
Is it one of those rivers that look like the sea?
It's not that wide, but it is deep.
Yeah, deep.
So back in the days, we have ships coming in and out using those deep ports in Sapele, Warri. We have deep seaports.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we have seaports there.
Yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah, that's like where I was in Jordan, and the waters is just deep. It goes straight down because originally the earth plates are split. It's where Moses crossed the waters.
Okay.
Let my people go. So it's an interesting place to be. Very spiritual if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So with you've got all these plots. What was the first thing you had to do, and what's the biggest hurdle for you? And I have to ask: are you a dual citizen, as in you've got a British passport and a Nigerian passport, or you just have a Nigerian passport? Because the angles of what I ask my questions is for the audience to understand where you're coming from.
Oh, Nigerian passport.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
that's good. So, was the paperwork wise? What was the biggest hurdle?
The biggest hurdle is the paperwork. You need to make sure, because I'm new to the game of property development. So the biggest hurdle for me is to know the background of where I'm getting, who's selling, to actually know who owns, to go back to 2-3 generations, who owns the actual land. And also to get there's this thing called certificate of occupancy, CFO, certificate of occupancy, which is being issued by the governor of the state. So that is most likely the biggest hurdle for us in Delta State. It takes like 6, 7, 8 months to get that done.
I'm not sure. Do you have something called the Lands Commissions where it tells you the history of who owns what land?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So no, I wasn't sure if it's called the same thing. So if they tell you anything, you can take that as gospel then. So for any potential investors, if they were going to go to Nigeria, all they'd have to do is go to the Lands Commission, whatever the Lands Commission just say, yet you can buy that, and yet this person does own the land. No one else can come back to that private individual and say, this is my land, because you could just direct them to the Lands Commission. Is that correct?
It's not that straightforward. So because different states have their own different rules when it comes to land, owning lands. So in Lagos now, which is kind of the model that other states follow in Nigeria, it's not, you have government claims land while the family keeps waiting for government to do something with the land. But after like 10, 15 years, the government has not done anything. They come back and claim the lands back as the family. Community have lands, the government claims the land, and 10, 15 years time, not because of the government's fault, but because of change of policy in the government, and election comes, a new party gets elected, so there's no really continuity. Whatever the government has planned for that land, after a couple of years, they've abandoned it. The community goes back and reclaims the land. So you need to actually dig deeper than just going to the Ministry of Lands. You need to find out from the locals as well who owns the land. So if not, you will end up in court for a very long time.
Yeah, okay. But because it's your birthplace, things are a lot easier for you.
Yeah. I was lucky with regards to that. But for anyone who wants to go into property development in Nigeria, from my point of view, you need to get lawyered up. When I mean lawyered up, you need to get like proper legal advice. Get a lawyer who will go into who has experience in land deals to go to ask the right questions. If not, for you as a new investor, as a new developer, you don't really know all the angles, all the questions to ask, what paper you need to what documents you need to like ask for. But these lawyers, they have experience in dealing with land, so they know what to look out for. Land business is very complicated. That is why we are trying to, we as developers now, we are trying to make it more easier for people to buy and acquire properties in Nigeria. So we take away all those hurdles of buying land from not the genuine source. So when we as developers, when we acquire those land, we've done all the background check, we've done all the risk, we've checked all the risk, we've crossed those parts, so it's easier to acquire lands from us.
Okay, that's interesting to know. What's the name of your company? Have you set it up as a company yet?
Yeah, long time ago. I have a company in Nigeria for the past 10, 11 years now. So my website is there, aghwotu.com.
Sorry?
aghwotu.com.
Go to.
No. aghwotu. aghwotu.
OTU.
Yeah.
At aghwotu.com.
Yeah. aghwotu.com.
aghwotu. Oh, okay. I think this deserves a screen share here. Hey, I think this deserves a screen share. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so can you see? What can you see? I don't know what you can see.
Yeah, I can see that. That's the homepage.
So this is your homepage. So these are the kind of kitchens you're looking up at section.
Yeah.
Very sexy. I see you have your British number in the corner. So the style is not necessarily like Igbo, Yoruba, or Delta Niger theme. It's a modern contemporary look.
Absolutely.
Okay, I love the photos in the background. You should have you and your wife up there, or is that one of your
Yeah.
brothers? There's a children's look. I see you've got like the IKEA furniture look. Are you going to be furnishing the places, or what are we going to be doing?
Yeah, if people styles vary. So if you want us to do a complete bespoke for you, yeah. It depends. We can do that.
Are you sourcing the furniture from overseas, or are you going to be having some? I was in Kenya, and there was a very bespoke hotel. It looked very modern from the outside, but you went inside, it had all African themed furniture. It was really, really nice. I'd never seen anything like it. I actually wanted to buy the place. But what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be invested in Africa, in having someone who can furnish a place from an African point of view, or are we going to be dealing with the Western IKEA?
Not at all, Simon. We have fantastic, brilliant artisans in Africa, in Nigeria. So we're creating furnitures, designing furnitures. We've been doing that in Africa for the past, God knows, since we were born. So these are some of the opportunities that are in Nigeria that we just do not see on a regular, because creating furnitures like this, it's easy. It's easier than buying them from IKEA. Fine, we'll get the washing machines and co. Yeah, from the big shops and distributors in Nigeria. But the furnitures per se, we have more competent people to do that.
Yeah, and it's better quality. I'm looking at the outside. These are 2-bedroom semi-detached houses.
No, these are 3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms. Okay.
Yeah, semi-detached. Yeah.
Oh, do they have rooftop access? I see, it's very like modern but stylish. I like the balconies.
Yeah.
Is that solar panels on the roof?
Depends on the off-taker. If you want solar panel, it can be installed. If you want the inverters, it's cool.
Is this an area? I take it's going to be a gated community. Will you be having the classic African bars on the windows that we have? Well, I should say black, because we have it in the Caribbean where you have metal grills all the windows, or is it just like this? It's a safer community because you've got that gated community element.
Yeah, it is a safer community. It is designed to be like that, everywhere fenced up. So we proud ourselves with the CCTV and all this kind of stuff. Yeah,
I see that.
Yeah,
I like the pool idea. I'm a big swimmer, advocate for swimmers. So who knows? I may be down there buying one of them or renting. You're going to have some houses on Airbnb. Come to talk about that.
We don't have plans for that yet.
If you have Airbnb, if clients are interested in renting, that's a good place for them to rent, and they can experience what you have to offer and things like that. Okay.
Yeah, but we'll put that in the table moving forward. We'll put that in the table.
Well, we're here to share the love. I don't mind. Okay. Well, let me just shut that down, stop screen share. So we're back to us now. That was a very nice website, very interesting. We have to address this. How do you navigate around the corruption element? Because you're dealing with paperwork, you're dealing with public officials. In the real world, forget that it's just Nigeria, in the real world, there's corruption in every country. So what secrets can you share how to navigate? I know there's certain things like don't pay in cash, which I learned. I don't pay anybody in cash. I have a paper trail. But what would you say? What would be your advice?
Hey, Simon, I've been managing to, I won't say corruption. It's just the bottleneck is just too much for things to happen as fast as you want. You need to which is not ideal, but make it very, very interesting. Like you said, rightfully, corruption. There's corruption everywhere in the world. There's no 100% corrupt-free place, even though there's paper trail, even though you don't want to pay in cash, but in some kind of way you compromise in certain stuff for things to happen. You know, so I won't come here to claim I'm 100% up an arrow. Where there's an hurdle, I find a way to go across it. When there's a roadblock, I find a way to sort it out. So it is not really oh no, Nigeria is corrupt, there's corruption everywhere, so you can't do anything. Yeah, business are still thriving every day. So you just have to like, do you want it? How bad do you want it?
Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's.
Straight away and move on.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So construction-wise, your guys, your view is your, let's say, family. It's a family business, yeah.
Yeah, me and my wife. Yeah, it's not family farming, but yeah.
I have to ask you, what does the name mean? I'm not very good.
Aghwotu.
What does that mean? Does that mean something? Acronym?
Yeah, that is the traditional traditional title of my dad.
Oh, okay. So it's in memory of your father.
Yeah. So he's the aghwotu of Okbe Kingdom. He's the aghwotu of Okbe Kingdom. So that is his title.
Okay. It sounds like you're saying go to, but that's the way it's coming across when I hear it at first. But I understand what you're saying. It's your represents your father, which is really good in that respect. Yeah. Construction-wise, what have you found? Have you found any dilemmas? Have you found any? What can you share with us about? They're all reinforced concrete buildings, RC frames. Yeah. Are you using natural materials? Are you having to import materials from other parts of Nigeria or other parts of Africa? What's the deal with that?
No, everything is local. Everything is local. And the thing is, I'm not a construction expert. Mine, I have the big vision. I just want to make things happen. So I have a team who does the construction part, who does the design. And the design you see on the website, our architect we just approved one the day before yesterday, which has proper rendering, more realistic than what you see on the website now. So we'll be updating that soon.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm impressed with the website. I will say I didn't see any line of damp-proof causing, where the big issue is with damp-proof causing. If I show you here, let's say this is the wall, the damp-proof causing comes here, but what it should do, it should actually go through the wall. Do you understand? Yeah, so when you put the mortar on, it stops at the top and starts at the bottom. So the idea, when the damp rises, it can't go over. If the mortar's here, as it rises, it just goes round and carries up the building. And that's a mistake I saw time and time again throughout all African countries I went to. And I've been to quite a few, apart from North Africa. So it's something you may want to consider. I don't know if you're doing it already, but those are just
I don't think damp is really an issue in Nigeria.
Okay. I haven't been to West Africa, so I don't know.
So because there's so much heat that the windows are always open, those kind of stuff. So I don't know.
You get a monsoon time, a rainy season?
Yeah.
Really would be then. But okay, moving along. So what does the future hold for you and the wife's team? You said you're moving back to Nigeria in 3 years' time. What does the future hold?
As we keep moving forward, we just want to be the biggest and the most trusted real estate developer in the south of Nigeria in the next 5 to 10 years.
No, I believe you'll get there. You know, you're doing what you said, 200 plots or 40
Yeah,
plots.
that's what we are currently negotiating right now.
Yeah, so you know you're doing something right. And husband and wife team is a strong team, believe me. You know,
Trust
because
me.
your flaws are her strengths and her flaws are your strengths. And you've got the kids that unite you. You're moving on forward. I'm very happy for you in a personal case.
Thank you very
So,
much.
so moving along, obviously you do your own podcast. Yeah, tell us a bit about your podcast. As we
My podcast is Diaspora Entrepreneurs Podcast, and it's where I interview Africans and Caribbeans in the diaspora who are mostly entrepreneurs, and we discuss the strategy on why they actually started the journey of entrepreneurship, and the strategies that they use to move from the 9 to 5 towards their lifestyle of like freedom, so that they have more time to spend with their families, have more time to spend with their loved ones, go out, have fun, which is what I saw that was lacking in most of the African communities, because we work so hard. Working is not our problem. We've got strength, we can grind. But we grind to a fault that we don't even have time to spend with our family. So one of my core values is family, anyways. So family, freedom, integrity, respect. These are some of my core values. So when I saw what is happening in our community, we have highly skilled individuals who don't really have time to spend with their loved ones, because they go to work, the missus goes to work, they go to work, they come back at 9, they're knackered. So I just found that, there are other ways to actually earn a living than just working. So for those who are more inclined towards the route of entrepreneurship, so I bring these guests to my podcast to talk about, how did you manage to do this? Why would you do that? Why would you do this? So we just talk more about strategies, the mindset to be able to go for their passion, go for what they want, and find the best route possible to do that. So that is why I created the podcast in the first place, for diaspora entrepreneurs.
Okay, that's good. What would you say you've learned most of all from your investing in Africa time that you wish you knew when you started?
That I can't do it by myself. No, I can't do it by myself. You need to be able to trust people. And you can't, for where I'm going to, I can't do it by myself. I need a team. I need people that can actually say, okay, you know what, this is the vision. This is what I want. This is the timeline. So how do we make this happen? Again, because it's mine doesn't mean I am the best person to actually execute most of the details that goes with actually doing stuff. So I'll say what I've learned right now is that you should be able to delegate. You can't do it by yourself. So that's how things crumble. If you want to do something in a large scale, like the way I want to do it now, in a very large scale. But if you're comfortable doing, like when I was selling cars, breaking car parts and all that stuff, yeah, you can do that by yourself. You buy parts here, give it to, you can't even do that by yourself, because you won't be the one who's going to break the cars in the first place, because you buy the scrap, take it to the car breakers, they'll have to break it down for you. You need someone to load it up in the container and ship it. You can't do that all by yourself. You still need to trust people to do that, except, I don't know, you want to play small, which the same energy that you use to play small, the same energy you use to play big.
Okay, that's good. Well, those are words of wisdom as on the closing part. We wish you well on your forward excursions of business and investing in Africa. And we know you'll be back, as in for another episode, because we're following your progress closely. And to the audience out there, if you want to check out Victor's, what he has to offer, I'm sure he's going to be updating his website as he goes along, but his contact details is on there. It's a British phone number for those of who live in the United Kingdom, and he's going to have his other emails and all the necessary information. Apart from that, Victor, thank you for coming along, and we wish you well.
Thank you very much, Simon, for having me.